Hello there, I am your pal Enzyme, and I'm making this video, as the title suggests, to give you a little bit of a build guide on the Veteran PowerSword. I made this video, uploaded 3 days ago, where I played a game with a silly build that is just completely focused on PowerSword damage. And I will link this in the description, but here's a little piece of the gameplay where you can absolutely decapitate a big crowd of crushers. It's pretty fun, it's pretty good, pretty solid. I didn't really expect many people to watch the video, but it's got like a couple hundred views, so I should follow up and actually explain the build. But when I watch a build video, I hate it when the YouTuber just goes on and on and on. It takes like an hour to just show me the build. Just show me, I don't care. So I'm not going to read out every single perk and explain them. If you've got the game, you can just click on them and read them for yourselves. So on this build, right, without any buffs, you should be able to kill a crusher with 3 attacks. And the attack pattern is heavy, light, light, heavy, light, light, heavy, light, light. And you absolutely will energize all the goddamn time. This sword is like a rolled up newspaper unless you energize it, and then you become the fucking Doom Slayer. So let's test it out on this guy. You should kill him in about 3 hits with no buffs. Shut up. Right. Now when you're in an Auric game, you'll have your teammates with you and you'll benefit from their coherency. That'll buff your damage. One of the talents, if I run around, you'll see on the bottom, it starts building up there. It goes to 5. That'll help you. With the right crits, you can kill him in 2 hits with just that. And with this build, we'll buff. It's not called Shroud Field, is it? Infiltrate, where you go stealth. This build gives you a huge damage buff to infiltrate. And it's probably possible to kill him in 1 hit, but 2's still pretty damn good. The other enemy of melee combat is this wanker right here, the fucking Dreg Rager. You do not want to be hitting this guy over and over and over to kill him, because there's normally 6 of these guys in a pack. Their combo will stretch the whole length of this room. It's very hard to dodge. It's annoying. It's nearly impossible to interrupt. You absolutely want to kill this guy in 1 or 2 hits. You should be able to kill him in 1 hit. Just with that stack of 5 buffs. Depending on your crits. Sometimes you'll get it. Sometimes you'll kill him in 1 hit with an energize. Anyway, let's speedrun the weapons and shit. So your dump stat on your PowerSword is definitely going to be mobility. Everything else you want 80%. I took Carapace and Maniac for Crusher and Dreg Rager kills. Everything else is just squishy trash. The blessings, again, we're only going to use energized attacks, so Sunder and Power Cycler are the obvious choices. Gun is completely up to you. You don't even have to use a gun, so this is a free choice. My personal recommendations would be bolt pistol or plasma gun. If something's attacking you out of reach, you want to be able to snipe it with 1 heavy fucking hit, and the plasma gun, bolt pistol, they're really good at doing that. Personally, I'm just in love with machine guns, so I keep the machine gun on, just change it up every now and then. Your Curios are completely up to you. What I've got here works on any build. It's just this safe idiot setup of 2 toughness and a wound. Everything on there is buffing toughness and your power ability. that one I would recommend having the plus 4% combat ability on all three. I would also recommend, if you're good at the game, you probably want to take a stamina and have at least, pardon me, the stamina regen. Sprint efficiency, not so important, but stamina is a good thing to consider for the old Curios. Onto the actual talents. Let me just move my beautiful face to one side. Right, I'm not going to explain all of these to you because you can get in game, you can hover on and you can read them. I'm just going to basically show you here what I chose for the actual build. It is completely geared towards the PowerSword. It ignores as much of the game as I can apart from the PowerSword. It really is a silly build. Apart from here, this was just too good to pass up on. This makes you very tanky. This is complete dog shit. There isn't a build in the universe that benefits from this. You do not want this. But to get the rest of this build to work, you have to kind of go down this side because we do want out for blood. 5% toughness on kills. You are in Auric. You're going to be swarmed. You're going to be constantly wiping out big crowds. You're going to benefit from this massively. It's your personal preference. Confirmed kills a good choice, and if you do go down the middle, you'll save 1 extra point that you can spend somewhere else, and you'll get the stamina boost instead, which is a good alternative. The the smoke grenade is nowhere near as good as the shredder grenade, but again, we want to come down here and get the movement and the crit chance, and we want the melee damage, so we kind of have to stay down that side. The smoke grenade's shit. It's really shit. It comes in handy a little bit, and even when it comes in handy to its most potential, it's still not as good as any other grenade in the game, in my opinion. I took the bleed because this thing here is based on switching between your gun and sword, and I just can't be bothered to do that. I'm not saying this is a bad choice, by the way. If you want to constantly switch, maybe you'll take this extra point and put it on the Keystone down here, and it'll pair together, and it might work, it might be good. It's up to you. Personally, there's no fucking way I'm switching between sword and gun constantly. I just want to pull the sword out and just use the sword all game, so I went with the blood stack. What else can we go over? I took No One Left Behind because the alternative was extra grenade, and our grenade is shit. We have Infiltrate, haven't really got a choice, but it works good with this build. Infiltrate's really good if you're trying to do an objective, if you're trying to pick up a player, if you're trying to carry a power cell, reset an Auspex scanner, you want to get healed at a med station without getting shot in the back. Infiltrate comes in handy for fucking loads of things. And when we pop it, we're going to get a damage buff that comes from surprise attack and from close quarters and from For the Emperor. There's a one in there, a damage buff, all based on using your power. So if you see those crushers or those fucking demon host or beast and Nurgle, it's time to pop this and give them a good smashing in the weak spot. Crit hit chance, ferocity, yep, good. You are going to be dodging constantly, right? Desperado, 10% crit chance for free, and I took the toughness to get Skirmisher. Skirmisher is this ability in the bottom of the screen that stacks to 5. I just forgot its name earlier. It's easy to keep up, guys. See how it's on 5 there? If I stop to kill someone, and then start running, I save it on 5. It didn't drop off. Stop to fight a guy, start running, and it refills, and it's still on 5. You get the idea. It's really easy to keep that up, so it's definitely worth having. Down the middle, we don't really have choices here. Well, that's an obvious choice. That one's good, even though we have to take it. It's still good to have 6 seconds off your cooldown. Iron Will was the best choice here for toughness, more toughness. 10% rending, that's basically armor penetration, which will help you get those one-shot kills. 20% damage to Ogrins, the Crushers and Ogrin, and monstrosities. It just feels good to jump at a beast of Nurgle and start slapping the bile off his ass cheeks. And along here, we've got no choice but to take 5% range damage, which is shit for this build. 30% weak spot damage. This is massive. In fact, if you want, you could put that on your sword as well. On your perk, you can have extra 10% weak spot damage. Not a bad thing to consider. It'll stack with that. So you'll basically be doing 40%. It's massive. If you've got the scoreboard add-on at the end of the maps, you'll see that you get absolutely huge score on weak spots and crit hits and shit. It's really good. Fully loaded, we've got no choice but to take it because we want to get that 15% elite damage. Yeah, extra ammo, it's wasted if you're going to just use your sword all the time, but we have to take it. Something you could do is get rid of those two, and you could take the extra 10% melee attack speed, and then you could take a Keystone, you could take focus target, or you could take that shit thing there that I don't recommend taking. Another thing before I wrap this up, you could, this gives you 15% base damage, right? You could get rid of it for this Keystone, and if you get your 5 stacks of focus target, then the target you highlight is going to give you 20% damage on anything you highlight instead of 15 to all elites, which isn't bad. It's not bad, right? It's extra 5%, but when you go into a big crowd of enemies and there's a group of elites in there, how likely is it that you'll put this Keystone on all of them? You're only really going to get one and start attacking, and even if you kill that one, you have to wait 2 seconds for one stack, and you're only going to fully benefit when you've got your 5 stacks. So you can't apply this to a whole group of enemies. That's why I don't recommend it, and this is better, because if there's a group of elites and you do a cleave attack and hit them all, you're getting that bonus damage on all of them instead of a little bit extra on one target. Makes sense? Right. That basically wraps it up. I'll link in the description the video where I played this. There'll be more videos coming where I play this again, because it is actually really, really fun. I have never ever done a build guide before, so I hope it didn't drag on too long, because I hate it when build guides go on and on and on. I want them to be like 3 minutes or less. But thank you very much for watching. Thanks everyone who watched the video that I referenced earlier. Means a lot. Hope you liked it. Hope you left a like. And thank you again. Enjoy killing the heretics, people. Thank you and goodbye.